Hi authors, and welcome to the instructions for the family chapters. I'm super excited about this. And we're going to do a chapter and a one-page quick summary. I'll explain all that here in the writing template. So this is the Word doc. You have it attached to your email. In addition, you could go to this link here, which is called the writing template. Click on that, and you'd be able to go over here and click on this and download. So you got that. You've got the document, the instructions document, which is something that I will be walking through in more detail in just a minute, as well as an instructions video that you're watching right now. So this is your home base, this document, as well as the instructions document, which I'll show you in just a second. And this will make sure you have everything you need. In this overview, I give you kind of a brief couple points. One is that your chapters 2 to 4K, 1,000 words, maximum 5, single spaced. When you craft the manuscript here in this Word document, all images are TIFF files, 1200 dpi or better for illustrations, and photos are 300. You got your format, your headers and subheaders. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. You got your editorial team. You've got Carol Gorlick, you got John Mason. We have a team of 5 professional reviewers from the Writing Center at the University of Bowling Green State University, and we're all working together to provide you with the support you need to craft a great chapter. And you've got me, and you can email our team, Carol and John at TCH, or me, Steve at thechangehandbook.com. You can also call us. You got our numbers and those kinds of things. We want to make sure you have what you need, and they're supporting creating the best chapter possible to help as many people as possible, and all the people that are reading the Change Handbook. You got the outline here, and an author into this. This lays it all out. As you know, it's crafted in single space. You get your headers and subheaders. So follow this general format here, and I will walk you through this outline now in a little bit more detail here with the instructions document. So as we look here on the writing instructions for family chapters in the one-page quick summary, let me go back. Hold on one second. Then you come down here, and you also have this quick summary. Not sure exactly how to approach it. And so we're going to, I'm going to want to create a one-page quick summary that follows this. Each of the approaches in the Change Handbook all have their own quick summary. What I'd love to do is have a one-page quick summary of the family. And so each of these here, I'll talk more about those as well. And we are done in terms of the manuscript template. Now, if we go in here, you've got your instructions document, which you're looking at right now. You go to this tiny URL, it'll bring you here to this, and you're watching this video right now. So you've got, these are your 2 links. This page here really gives you as a home base for you on everything you need to craft your chapter. So as we go down, you can see that there's 3 kinds of chapters in the Change Handbook. At the center of the Change Handbook are methods and approaches, and the methods and approaches are a labeled 1 to 3 word labeled methodology or approach that is widely understood or adopted or followed, that people can find by using that 1 to 3 word label. And that 1 to 3 word label is a part of the title for their particular method or approach. Those methods, those approaches, excuse me, those methods, those approaches, they are grouped together by modality, by the way in which those methods and approaches act and interact. And that core modality, we're finding that there's methods and approaches that have a common modality. So for example, in collaborative arts, if you take art as the modality, you can see that there are visual communication or visual arts, playback theater or theatrical arts, drum cafe or musical arts, there's story and more. And so this is a really exciting area. And that there's a family here of methods and approaches that are in this area of various different types of arts. You are crafting a chapter here. You're crafting a chapter that introduces people to this collection, this family of methodologies. And what's exciting about this is the invitation is for you to provide that leadership, provide that convening for the group, and to bring them together and help to build this community of communities in this family, and actually create a family here with people that are doing this work. A lot of the folks that are working in these different areas
are not aware of the methods and the other areas of art. So some of the people working visual communication may not be as familiar with people that are working in theater or in music or in story or in some combination of those. So we're really helping to connect, and you are a part of being that connector amongst this community of communities in this area. Your chapter is intended to help introduce all of us, everybody out in the world, to this family, and to help us understand what this family means and how it's organized. And every family has its unique way in which it's organized. So the collaborative arts is what the family is called, and within that you've got the theater and music and so forth. Um, how it's organized is unique to the arts, and so in your family, it will have its own unique way of organizing itself as a family and its subfamilies and so forth. And so you're going to introduce us to what is this and take us into how it's organized so that people can then begin to read the various chapters on visual communication, playback theater, drum cafe, and so read them within the context of this organizing framework that's being provided as a family chapter. There are also complementary chapters. At the core are the methods with their family chapters in the Change Handbook. The front end and the back end is going to have complementary chapters. People are crafting chapters that help the audience understand, to learn, to practice, to study, to research, anything that has to do with leading edge, historical, foundational concepts that will help people better understand the center of the Change Handbook, the methods and their families. That's what the complementary chapters are going to be doing. And as you scroll down, you can see you've got a variety of videos and supporting information down here below. You've got links to the Change Handbook. You've got an email to me and to the team. You know about that, and so forth. And as you go down, I've mentioned here, you've got creative license to customize and adapt your manuscript. Your manuscript is going to have a bit of a structure to it, and at the same time, there's room for you to adapt it to meet the unique nature of what you're writing about and the family that you're writing about. And we're going to try to keep the family chapters to have a similar format so it makes it amenable to people that once they get into it, they go, oh, okay, I'm in a family chapter that's going to introduce me to these specific methods and approaches. The methods and approaches are the most structured in the sense that they need to be outlined in a way that's going to be easy for the audience to really read and compare and contrast and look across all of them. And so, and then the family chapters and the complementary chapters have more creative license in how they're structured and so forth. I'll walk you through all of that here in just a second. Let me go through these links here. You've got the slide share here for the book out online. Click on that, and it'll take you to the book. You can scroll through and take a look at the book. You got a copy. You can also scroll through here. Then you can go to the book on the website. Click that. It'll take you to the website here for the book. Then you go into the table of contents, the taxonomy. You click on that, and it takes you here. And this gives you some video and more details on how the book, the taxonomy, how it's the outline, how it's laid out, and so forth. And this is a sample. This is a evolving organizational structure. And then you've got the conference. We are in May of 2018, bringing together a group of people from Nexus for Change, Bowling Green State University, the International Society for Organizational Development and Change, around the concepts of collaboration, innovation, transformation, and change. And so you're invited to come to that. And we're going to host a beginning mini design team to look at hosting a major conference for authors and communities of practice for the authors in 2019. And so come in 2018 and join us at Bowling Green State University at Levis Commons, and you can learn all about that at the link there. And join us for the design team and be a part of the conversation as we begin to have a larger gathering in 2019. The criteria, as you can see here for selection, you click on that, and what you'll see is right here. Oh, let me go back. If you click on the link there, let me go back, forgive me. If you click on this link for the conference, it'll bring you to this page, and you can learn more about the conference that we're having in 2018. Then if you click on this here, this is the criteria for selecting methods and approaches that are in the core body of the Change Handbook. That's here. You can read about that. And then if you want to see the Chicago Manual of Style, which is a style for the manuscripts that Barrett Kohler, the publisher, uses, you can click on that. It'll take you here. You can read about style. And then you got the example chapters. You can click here and see the galley proofs for chapters from the second edition to see what the galley proofs look like. And then you can go to the tinyurl's executive summaries or quick summaries, one-page summaries. You can really click on that, and I'll take you here for that. So now let's go back into the outline here. And you got the outline, and it corresponds with the manuscript template that you're authoring into. So you take this out, and you can click here to get to that link as well. Now you come in and you got your author, you got your names, your order of authorship. That's for you to decide with your authoring team. You've got your title, and if you have and here what we're going to do is the title is going to have this. It's going to follow on this pattern of collaborative blank, collaborative arts, collaborative dialogue, collaborative arts, and so forth. So you'll have these various different the family modalities, and we're going to have a 1 to 3 word label, and typically one word that's going to capture that. And the whole intention here is to create a pattern, a rhythm to how we're doing the taxonomy to make it easier for people to get in, to accelerate the learning and get them up to speed in understanding this body and field of work that we're in. You got an epigraph that will set the stage for the family. And then you go into your introduction. An introduction has 2 parts to it, or 3 maybe. One part is around this notion of need and problem and context in the world. That's setting the stage for why is this stuff needed and important. So sometimes it's framed as a problem, a need, an opportunity, or something. Then that flows into, okay, so with that, how are we filling that need? And what's the purpose that's going to be fulfilled? If it's a problem that's creating the need, then what's the purpose and the possibility that is solving that need, and what is the purpose and the benefit of what is being created here in terms of this family, and how is it serving that, which flows into what's going to be introduced. Then you get into the body, and you got your headers and your subheaders. Here, I think you decide what you want to do. I'm going to take this out. This is from different other things, but you decide how you're organizing and the subheaders and how you're using them. And then so you'll have your introduction, hook them, bring them in, bam, get to the body, have your organizing way of introducing it. I suspect that you'll have some things that are around history. You might have some things around history that are discussed, history. Have, I think, research. You're going to have other types of evidence in the form of best practices and tools. Who knows what you're going to need to write in here? I think the most important thing is provide the organizing framework to help people understand how to read and begin to make sense of the various chapters that are in this family. So provide the organizing framework. And yeah, so that there, I'm just going to do this and fix it real quick. Move it over. I'll fix that. Put that right there. So you've got this. I just want to do this here. Okay, we've got that. And then you got your concluding comments. And in the concluding comments, and this is getting at what are your final thoughts, what's your hope for the future, words of encouragement, invitation to learn more, particularly as they go into this particular family. Now, there's another section for where to go for more information. You got references that are for what you wrote above. You also have influential sources, and then you have organizations. Influential sources are additional information that maybe you weren't part of your references for the content that you wrote. So you have some influential sources that you might want people to check out. In addition, you may have organizations that you want people to consider joining and looking into getting into the community of practice, the network that they have, or whatever it might be that you would suggest people check out. You got about the authors. If there's more than two, keep it to 50 words. If it's two or one or two authors, you can go right up to a 75-word biography. The next is your personal bookshelf. What are your top 10 resources, printed or digital resources that have influenced you on a personal and a professional level, that are your most important top 10 resources? It could be three, your top three. That's fine, but no more than 10. And we're going to be putting all of that together into a really cool chapter that looks at this meta bookshelf for everyone. Now, as you go further down, you're going to see that you now have done with your chapter. Now you go to a quick summary. And my ask is that you think about how can you take, as you look across the methods and you look at the family, what is the purpose of this family? What are some of the benefits for people that are using methods in this family? When is this family of methods typically used? When is it not used? What are the number of participants of these? What's the type of participants, the typical duration? Maybe an example of how they're even used together, some historical context around this, and a pictorial representation of this, if there's one that you can create. We're going to create a one-page quick summary for the families that will go to introduce the various methods in your particular family. And you can look at the quick summaries for that. This will be kind of new, so we can modify this if you think it needs to be modified a little bit to best be suited to your particular family. And then as you scroll down a little bit further, we're almost done. You've got here additional notes for authors. 1, figures, charts, and images. This is really important. You've got your links here. 1200 DPI for illustrations, 300 DPI for pictures, all in TIFF format. You provide them in the body. You can provide them in the body of your manuscript. Also, they need to be provided as separate files. That's important. You got grammar and mechanics. I always find that while we have an editorial team that will be supporting you, it's important for any author writing a chapter to have their own support editorial team of some kind that's really helping them with grammar and mechanics while still honoring your personal style for the way you write. Active and passive voice, that is really important. I've learned more and more about that as I've been writing, that active voice makes things more engaging, it makes things more confident, it makes things more alive and interesting. Passive voice tends to be what it kind of says. It puts people in passivity. And so I would encourage you to look at more active voice, and here are some things to help you with that. The Art of Conceptualization is a webinar series that I did around creating definitions and frameworks and models. And so you can look at this and get some helpful thoughts, maybe that will help you as you think about how to label and define key concepts within the chapter that you're writing. And this notion of the 3 V's, as I call it, the verbal, visual, and visceral elements to writing. And then you got picturing the personal essay. I just love this blog post, and it really gets at design thinking and design around the invention of written and intellectual property. So I thought you might like that. And when you come down here, you've got the personal request for, if you're using information, this is a template you can use to request permission for materials that require permission. And you can read, you can just go through this, and you know about this kind of stuff. And if you need more help on this, let us know. This would be pretty straightforward. And that's it. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to reviewing your chapter and us creating a great handbook that's going to help a lot of people, help a lot of people, help a lot of people. Bye for now.